Jets Ward.
Jets, Jets. What is going on, Jet fans? And welcome back to another episode of the Jets Ward. I am your host, Ryan Ward, and I'm so excited to be back with you guys. Got an interesting one for you. But first, if you've been here before, welcome back. You know I love having you guys here. No matter if you're a Jets fan or a fan of another team, you are always welcome here. And I appreciate you guys keep coming back for more. And similar, if you are new here, welcome. Doesn't matter if you're a Jets fan, a fan of another team, or just a casual NFL fan, you are always welcome here as well. So, guys, like I said, got an interesting one because we have been getting a lot of information about the next Jets coaches coming in and firings that are taking place. Previously, I made a video about Wink Martindale getting a second interview as DC. Currently, while I'm recording this, he hasn't been hired as the DC yet, but it's looking like he might be the Jets' new defensive coordinator. But before that, too, there was big news coming out, not by the Jets beat reporters, but by a Houston beat reporter, hearing about all of these Jets coaching firings and some changes taking place for one of our key coaches on the team and some things that could be happening. So let's go through the firings, shall we? So the other night we found out that Charles London, quarterback coach, was fired. I'm not unhappy with that. I thought he needed to go. He was a former running back and running backs coach, turned to a quarterback coach, and just hasn't really proved anything. The quarterbacks for the Jets this year were atrocious, and he's never really done wonders with quarterbacks anyway. You could say Geno Smith, but really Geno was established at this point. So he was fired. Scott Turner, pass game coordinator, was fired as well. Eric Washington, defensive line coach, had a feeling this was going to happen anyway. The defensive line really regressed this year. Dre Bly, assistant DB coach. Aaron Curry, linebackers coach, was fired. Roosevelt Williams, defensive assistant. And Alonzo Escalante, defensive assistant as well. Those last two, first-year defensive assistants. So unfortunately, with how bad the defense had to go, or defense played this year, there were a lot of changes to this defensive game that needed to happen. So the timing is very, very weird. Other teams are filling their coaching staffs already, and here are the Jets making holes for their coaching staff. And there's rumors too that the Jets are just a very undesirable place, and you can understand why. The timing of this is just very weird. Yes, it needed to happen. These guys needed to go. The coaching staff last year was a disaster. We can be honest with that. The only thing that was great was the special teams unit. But defensively, it was a disaster. So a lot of these guys, yeah, they deserved to go. Now, with that being said, why do it now? Why wait until this point where other teams are already filling their coaching staffs? Now you're falling behind. That being said, too, with Wink Martindale coming in for a second interview, does this mean that he's definitely going to get the job, opening up defensive positions for him to bring in his own people? Possibly. There's no 100% case yet that he is going to be the defensive coordinator, but it's very fishy that we're firing all these defensive guys as we bring in Wink Martindale for a second interview. But that's not just the biggest news. The biggest news comes into a coach that was actually safe right now. And that is somebody who I thought did a fine job with what he was given last year, Tanner Engstrand. So along with these firings, Tanner Engstrand, our offensive coordinator, is going to remain on this staff. But there are a lot of things that are going to change. His role apparently has not been decided yet. And Aaron Glenn is still thinking about what he wants Tanner Engstrand's role to be, whether it's calling plays, whether it's focus more on the pass game coordinator. And it's looking kind of like a demotion for Tanner Engstrand. And to me, that's not fair. And the reason for that, I understand the Jets offense wasn't great last year. The run game was solid, but the pass game was a disaster. But how can you expect Tanner Engstrand to be successful with Justin Fields as quarterback, who was awful? Then you move to Tyrod, who kept getting injured. And then you finish the season with Brady Cook as your quarterback, who was a disaster. It's so hard to judge Tanner Engstrand based on that because one, Garrett Wilson got hurt too, and the weapons he had until A.D. Mitchell and John Mechie came in were abysmal. Mason Taylor got hurt too. It was a disaster on offense. So it's so hard to blame it all on him when you're giving him no weapons. So I don't feel like Tanner Engstrand was the major blame for this. But for him to possibly get demoted, what does that say about the Jets coaching staff? Well, two things in my opinion. One, they're bringing in a vet offensive assistant to help call plays and to help guide Tanner Engstrand, to help him out, to get him better prepared. So somebody like a Doug Peterson, a Todd Haley, somebody like that could be coming in as this vet offensive assistant. Or it's a full demotion and Tanner Engstrand gets bumped to pass game coordinator and you bring in somebody like Cliff Kingsbury possibly to be an offensive coordinator. Now, would he want to come here? He was a Jet quarterback at one point, but I don't know if he'd be willing to come back here. It would be interesting. If they got him as an offensive coordinator, I know myself and That's So Krista would be jumping for joy because I think Cliff Kingsbury is a brilliant offensive mind and think he could do wonders with this offense and would help Tanner Engstrand as well. Or you could bring in a more vet offensive-minded guy too. Like I said Cliff Kingsbury, but there's other options out there. But I just feel bad for Engstrand because I don't think he was totally to blame for it. I actually think he did a decent job as a play caller, first-year play caller. And I think you take your lumps the first year and then you grow from it the year after. It's kind of fishy what Aaron Glenn's doing. I think these are panic moves because he knows he's on the hot seat. He knows he needs to get these things right. The firings did need to happen, especially for most of these guys. Definitely. But to do it now in like this spur of the moment type thing, because this wasn't done weeks ago, or a week ago or days ago. These guys knew they were on the hot seat and they were being evaluated. We all knew that. But it seems like it just happened like that. And was this an Aaron Glenn move? Was this a Woody Johnson move? We don't know this. But these moves happened. Wink Martindale's coming in. Could have news the next couple of days that he gets hired as our defensive coordinator. I'd be happy about it. I know a lot of Jets fans wouldn't be. And interested to see where this offensive staff goes with Tanner Engstrand now. Is he going to continue being our offensive coordinator? Is he going to get demoted and become pass game coordinator like he was in Detroit? And are we going to bring a new offensive mind in? I'm interested to see what happens with this coaching staff. I would love to hear from you guys as well. What do you think about all these things? Are you happy about the firings? Are you happy that Tanner Engstrand might be getting demoted? Or do you think he should continue to be our offensive coordinator? I'd love to hear from you guys down in the comment section. Make sure you hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and hit that bell for any notifications as well. It keeps you updated when I post videos. I try to post as much as I can, sometimes twice a day. So make sure you guys continue to support, follow along, and make sure you follow me on X, Instagram, and on TikTok as well. I post all my videos there too. And again, guys, I thank you. I love you. And thank you so much for joining me in the Jets Ward. Thank you guys so much. And I'll see you in the next one. Bye.
The Jets Ward.